Hello, everybody. It's me, TONIK TZW. We're here in the Tier 7 Tech 3 cruiser of the secondary Japanese line. That's a bit of a mouthful. The SHIMANTO, which I did actually enjoy playing. I don't play a lot of cruiser games. I think around 20% of my overall games are in cruisers. I just find they're a little bit squishy. Um, but when I was starting my grind, I was having a few problems. I didn't think the turrets turned too quickly. I wasn't sure if I should be running stealthy or using torpedoes more. And so I went around on YouTube and I had a bit of a look, and I found that Durka had done a video on the Shimanto. And so I had a look at the build he was using and kind of threw it onto this and improved the build somewhat and made it more playable for me. I don't know if it's exactly the same in these images, but one thing that you certainly will need in this ship is the reduced reload time, and also setting it up for turret traverse means that you really can get the best out of it, because this thing does have 360-degree rotating turrets. It has 3 in the front, 2 on the rear, but you will be giving up a bit of a broadside to get all 5 onto a target, and that's something you need to be wary of. Because as far as armor goes, I'm not going to say it's non-existent, um, but you don't take a punch well. Now, excuse me while I clear my throat. One of the things that I will say here is these torpedoes are very long range, but they're also very, very slow. But that's actually beneficial, because with quite a fast reload, you can put those torpedoes out, and it's a little bit like fire and forget, and you can long range zone torp areas to prevent ships from pushing in. Now, I'm expecting our destroyer there, who's a Z-23, to perhaps be going a little bit wide and coming in from the left side of the cap, because there is a little niche there that you can get into, and you can run your sonar and deny red team pushing into the cap. But that's not what he's going to do. What he is going to do is go all the way round the outside of the map, only to die. Absolute classic DD play when there is a carrier in the match. I don't know what it is with the fixation of killing a carrier. Yes, you can do your team a favor if you can kill the carrier, but in domination mode, as I always say, caps are king, and that is where you need to be, because red team obviously have their destroyer in the cap. You are going to see me ping the map and say, hey buddy, can you get in on this cap and at least contest it, not just give it away completely to red team. But he's going to completely ignore that. And so we are going to have to take on at least one destroyer. And we got the KGV out there as well, who has superb HE penetration, and you can't risk getting put on fire time and time again from that guy. But the destroyer is going to make himself apparent in a second, because it's the Fletcher that's on this cap, and he's going to get very hungry for a kill. There he is, and this guy is going to go guns on us, and we are going to reply in favor. But we're also going to put another couple of sets of torps out there. We're going to keep our guns on him, and as I said, 360-degree turrets. We take a chunk of health off him, but unfortunately not enough, or not soon enough to reset the capture point. But he is blazing away with his guns. Here comes a whole world of hurt in regards to torpedoes, and that KGV out there is just waiting to get another salvo on us. Now those look like widespreads. You can see how Z-23's got torpedoes there on the KGV, but his torpedoes run out just before they hit the battleship, so he could have done some good there, but actually he completely failed, and the KGV lives to fight another day, as does the Fletcher, who has dipped back inside the smoke screen and disengaged. So it's our turn to get a fire on the KGV. Now, we all know with British battleships that they do have those superb heels, and it's highly unlikely that he's going to damage control those ones. As he damage controls those fires, I would have potentially have let those tick a little bit longer, but he has dipped out of sight behind the island. We can't get shots onto him. He knows that he's got a destroyer on his flank, so he is going to move away because he knows that we will shoot at his destroyer if it gets spotted. Now, between the Fletcher and the Z23, I would say that the Z23 has a little bit of an advantage because it has the sonar. Its reload isn't as good, but he could pop the sonar, pop a smoke, and hide away and gun down the Fletcher as it gets towards him, because that Fletcher has already taken a huge chunk of damage. The KGV is running away. It doesn't look like there was a cruiser here to start with, so we are going to push into the cap. Lucky to avoid those torpedoes, because we could have afforded taking one, I'm sure, but we are going to get onto this capture point. I am sure that the Fletcher is hunting down the destroyer, who is still chasing after the carrier at the back of the map. Now, this is good for me, because what it's let me do is sail into this cap unchallenged. And here we go again. Torpedoes up on reload. We're thinking that the KGV may pick up a little bit of speed, and he's sailing to the middle of the map, and looking at the mini-map, there are at least a couple of ships there that can put shots onto him. But knowing that he has damage controlled his fires, I'm thinking, can I get across to the top there as we get spotted, which is no doubt the Fletcher. So I'm keeping moving now because I don't want that KGV to get a shot across the top at me. So I'm trying to keep that island between me and him. But the Fletcher gets itself spotted again. He's firing his guns. We go on the front turrets only, and we lead him a little bit too much there. But the full salvo is not going to make the same mistake, and he is going to go back to port as we wind it back in for the last few seconds to take this capture point. The carrier is spotted there, and that destroyer is going to continue to chase him round the map. And the carrier is going to make sure that he doesn't get there. It's an enterprise, so it could be an experienced player. It could be somebody who just finished the campaign and hasn't progressed past the tier 3, but we do get a fire on the enterprise there. We've got to put some more shots across there, but we know that this King George V is on our flank, so we're going to keep the island covering us. But the carrier disappears, so now we're already looking for our next target. I think we did actually land a torpedo on the King George V there, but he's there sailing round the middle of the map. And if you look to the 6 o'clock position on the mini-map, we have got big battleships out there, and that guy has literally pulled a 180 U-turn in the middle of the map, and nobody appears to have basically done anything apart from scratch his paint, if they've even done that. So we get air fire on him again. We put a couple of torpedoes out there. We're going to kite, and we're going to watch for him firing his guns, because we're not as agile as some of the smaller Japanese cruisers. This thing has a huge turning radius, but we are agile enough at this range to try and stay out of the way of most of his shells. We did lose a turret there. We're going to put some more torpedoes out. He's obviously wary of being targeted with torpedoes. He's letting that fire burn. So I think, did I hit him with a torpedo? Did he damage control the flood? Potentially, yes. I wasn't exactly paying attention. But we're going to put a little bit more damage onto him as he gets air fire on us as well. We've got the heals available, and I think what he's doing now is he's looking for my twisting and turning, because he isn't firing full salvos. He is firing individual turrets, and that is something that I do as well. So it shows a little bit of knowledge and acumen about playing the game, because he knows that I'm going to continue twisting and turning, and so he is going to want to try and put a turret on me as and when he can, aiming into my turns rather than aiming at me as I'm sailing away. But he gets another hit. We can afford to damage control that because he can't get a hit on us anymore. We are now dark. We get a fire on him again, and I do believe that that one is a stick and tick. I'm just trying to look at the mini-map here because our Z23 has actually made it all the way round onto that cap, and he was in that cap until just now when the Enterprise torpedoed him. So he missed pretty much everything with his torpedoes at the start of the game. It took me to take care of the Fletcher for him, and I'm watching this King George V burn down thinking, yeah, we're going to have a kill out of this one. But no, the Duke of York, who's that guy that's been sat in the middle of the map, who probably could have clattered that KGV while he was pulling a U-turn in the middle of the map, decides that he's going to take a cheap kill. 2 ships left on red team, 4 left on our team, and we know roughly where the cruiser is because our carrier is going to get him spotted. He's up there. I think he was running back to take care of the Z23, or he was just running for his life. And we have control of the caps. We pretty much have control of the game. I'm on 100,000 damage with a single kill. And we're just looking, thinking, can we get guns onto that Enterprise? But he's going away from us quicker than we can close the distance with him. And those guys in the middle are going to pick themselves up in another kill. Now, the last destroyer, he is here all the way at the back of the map. He's obviously being pushed back off the cap on the right-hand side. And so we are going to get our turrets across and locked on this side of the map. Now, I don't think he knows that I'm coming this way. Probably thinks that I'm going to go hunting after the carrier, the same as everybody else does in the game. But I'm not, because, yeah, I don't always do what people expect me to do. Sometimes I potato, sometimes I protato, but my guns are across here and they're ready. I've got HE loaded because it's a light cruiser, and I am expecting that I can set them on fire. I'm also expecting them to come around this corner towards me. So we are going to zone torp here, and then we are going to sit waiting for him. That spotter plane going up just tells me exactly where he is, and it's obviously somebody who hasn't read the patch notes to know that spotter planes no longer work. Now, the fact that this guy doesn't fire his guns immediately on appearing tells me that he is firing torpedoes. So although my sonar is short duration, I am running it now, and I'm keeping running in a straight line. We've got AP loaded now. This is going to be a quadruple citadel. No, not that salvo. The next salvo is going to be a quadruple citadel. That one was a high caliber at 106,000 damage. And this one, here we go. Yep, that's the one. Quadruple citadel. And I've got him spotted. Everybody is shooting. And everybody wants the kill on this one. And we kind of fluff our shot a little bit by having our fall of shot land a little bit too far away, but there's the torpedoes going past our bow now. We've got a heel running. We've switched back to HE because he is angled, and I think it's this salvo that is going to be the end of him. It is indeed. So there endeth the game in the tier 7 SHIMANTO. Not a bad one at all. Not my highest damage score overall, but one of my highest base XP scores, breaking 3,100, finishing top of the board. And I have to say, I did find that one quite pleasurable. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I did playing it. So stick around. If I remember to put some extra videos here, click one of these links, because one of them should be a division game in the SHIMANTO, and hopefully something else to keep you entertained. Don't forget, smash the like button, subscribe, comment, and until next time, take care of yourselves, and goodbye.